I can only read at a second grade level.
Not even that.
If you had a dog called Spot, I would have figured it out. Dick and Jane.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, episode 77. Doing it for Ty Dillon. He's Josh 77, right?
I don't know if driving it is really what he's doing.
Well, he sits in the seat and
waits for it to wreck.
He doesn't wreck as much as he used to. He's doing better.
I think the 77 ought to be sponsored by Tesla.
77 wins a race in 2024, yes or no? Carson Hocevar's driving it.
At a dirt track, maybe. With
They're
someone
not
else
dirt
driving.
tracking next year. Or at least they're not going to Bristol dirt.
No, I mean like a midget that happens to have the same number.
Oh, okay. Like a sprint?
Ty Dillon.
Like a sprint car?
That could win.
Yeah, you got a point.
But not Ty's car.
But Ty's not driving the 77 next season.
I don't think he's driving at all next season.
So far, nothing's been announced.
Grandpappy put him in an Xfinity car?
Well, I thought maybe he had a shot at that BJ McLeod ride, but now that he sold that charter. So no,
but
I don't know where he
BJ still
goes.
has the Xfinity team.
So maybe Ty goes Xfinity racing for Pop.
Pop will write a check.
Put him back in that truck. He's still got that one truck at the Hall of Fame or at the RCR.
You know what? He could just drive that truck. It's good.
It would be cheaper for Pop just to put him back in the truck series.
You ever wonder why his brothers never showed him how to drive super speedway so he could win occasionally?
Because his brother just gets lucky too. His brother's proven the last few weeks that, his average finishing spot this year's dropped like 4.
Cal's not doing that well either.
No, Kyle's struggling too.
Think it's the team?
I do. It has to be the team because...
Think Pop gives them a box of wine to slurp on while they're doing their laps?
No, I think they're doing all they can. Like, I think they're giving it their all, and what you're seeing is all they got. Like, they're just... I think that you've seen the inconsistencies with all the teams this season. RCR, Hendricks, they've all had inconsistent. The only consistent thing RCR's done...
Stewart Haas has been very consistent.
They have.
Yeah.
They definitely have.
Most consistent team.
They have.
In Cup Series.
You know, it's really between them and Rick Whale right now for me. Spire. Well, Spire's had a couple good
They've
runs.
improved, I think, this year.
Yeah, I think Corey's average finishing position for this year has went up a couple points versus last year. But next year, Corey has to make the playoffs next year. He has to.
I think Corey will win a race next year.
I think I agree. I think Corey could easily go out and win a super speedway.
Atlanta.
I think he could win the Roval too. Or Atlanta. Or like a Darlington or a Martinsville or something like that. But I think the only way next season's considered a successful season for Corey is if he wins a race.
Well, he's been leading laps.
Or at least makes the playoffs.
He led laps at Bristol, so he's getting that experience being in front. So I can see him winning.
Ty Dillon led a lap under caution yesterday, but, I don't think we consider that a win.
I don't think he's aware that Ty doesn't know he led a lap.
They didn't tell him.
Well, actually, the party today, the Pop's throwing for him at the Vineyard
for leading a lap.
Yeah.
One lap.
That'll let him know.
First lap of the season. Way to go, Ty.
Pop's going to give him a Rolex for that.
Probably.
Because Ty's really pissed off that Kyle got a Rolex when he signed the contract and he doesn't have one yet. He's like, Pop, I got a Timex.
Timex.
not a Rolex, a Timex.
It's a fossil.
Yeah, fossil.
Pop, why did he get a Rolex and I got a fossil?
Do they even make fossils anymore?
I don't know. I remember them from high school. I had a blue face one.
That was quite the thing back
Glowed in the dark.
Yeah, I had one.
And I couldn't even read a watch like that. The analog. It's dyslexic.
It didn't have the numbers on there?
No, it messed me all up. Like, what time is it? That time? This time right here? I have it on my Apple Watch. It has the analog thing, but I have the time up in the top
corner. Let me double check with my
Motorola
Razr.
Well, it looks like it's 2:30. All right, I'll hold them up together. Yeah, so Matt, you have a good weekend? How you doing? Everything good?
It was okay.
I'm still getting these stupid headaches. They're about to drive me crazy.
you know, someone told me to stop doing this. I was threatening.
Are you threatening me? I am Cornholio. Take me to your leader.
It was my wife.
Well, quit flipping the knife
I was
at her.
just sitting there on the couch.
Did you throw it at her too?
Just, you know.
I guess that's better than playing with your gun next to her.
Or my wiener.
She'd probably prefer that.
Probably not.
And we went to an Eric Church concert Friday night. Sat down in the pit, took my son, had a good time.
They have pit stops at the Eric Church concert?
They did.
You know, I've never been to a country concert.
Really? Dude, it was awesome. It was actually probably,
I had to Google him to know who he was.
it actually, I moved that show up. It's right there at my number one favorite concert I've ever been to be honest with you. One, I was with my son. So, I mean, that automatically adds like 50 points.
Yeah.
Two, we were second row. And Eric Church is probably one of my favorite artists of all time. So
what's his hit song? Just 2 or 3.
Drink a little drink, smoke a little smoke. Never heard that?
No.
Kick back, get the blues a spin.
Nope.
Break out the wine.
Nope.
Dig down.
Is that the same song or multiple songs? Light
it up, memory crash. Oh no.
I don't know.
You need to listen to it. It's a good one.
Huh.
And he's got a drink in my hand. Jack Daniels. A lot of songs about drinking.
And you took your son there?
Yeah.
He's 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got hit on by a 45-year-old. Well, I'm assuming she's 45. She looked like she was between 40 and 50.
Well, that's kind of the thing now, isn't it?
She had the duck lips.
Oh,
she had all the.
Got the injections?
And it didn't help. I was trying really. I was trying really hard to get a picture of this lady. So I could send it to my wife and like, look at this lady's lips. And she comes up and starts flirting with my son.
Was she a housewife from TV? No.
No, I mean, double wide maybe, but not TV show.
They ought to make Housewives of the Trailer Park.
Oh, yeah. That would be an awesome show. We're on to something. Maybe we should start.
We should pitch it.
We should.
We got Warner Brothers right here in Atlanta. Think we can pitch it there at CNN Center?
The Real Housewives of Pinehurst Trailer Park.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. I mean, we've probably talked about some of those women in Meth Decisions. So I think we're
the lady hitting on your son was on?
Oh, yeah. She would make it on there. She's like, let me take a selfie. You can post it on Instagram. So she took a selfie. He said,
why? Why would I want to do that?
I think she thought she was going to make him Instagram famous, but all she did was become the butt of a joke for the whole night.
Like the girl we're
saw. We're still laughing about it.
The girl we saw in L.A. at the whatever they called it at the Coliseum.
The Clash?
The Clash. She had 0 followers. And she kept posting.
She went live for 200 laps, and
I felt bad for her for a second, and then I realized she didn't realize it was pointless.
I wanted to join her live feed so she would feel like
there was someone watching,
so she wouldn't feel bad. Like I felt bad that she didn't feel bad about it. That kind of made me feel bad. So,
wow, that was sad.
I tell you, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life is watching my 16-year-old leave the house in a car by himself.
It doesn't.
Does it get easier?
No, it does not.
Man, it's not easy.
Wait till he wrecks one.
Oh no, I can't.
And then you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" I asked my wife.
I don't know how y'all did it when y'all. Like, I don't know. I don't know how y'all do it. You got 2 kids that have been driving for years now, so I don't know how, man. Like, it's not easy. If you don't have a child that drives yet, just wait.
We go through cars like socks.
Well, I'm hoping that's not our case, but it's very stressful. He drove to. This morning, he's dual enrollment, so he does college and high school classes. So he drove to college this morning, and he was telling me one of his buddies got pulled over in Peachtree City this morning because he was doing, 6 over the speed limit, which is a red flag. Anyway, if you're an officer and you pull somebody over for going 6 over the speed limit, you should not be an officer anymore. You should have it revoked.
You probably should reset your radar for 10 plus.
Well, then this idiot decides that the kid he's like, oh, this is a learner's permit only. You're not supposed to be driving by yourself. Get out of the car, put your hands behind your back, and stand here. You're going to go to jail. He was going to take this dude to Fayette County Jail for going 6 over because he said he had a learner's permit. So the cop decides to call his dad, calls the kid's dad, and his dad's like, dude, that's not a learner's permit. Cop reads it again. He's like, oh, yeah, I see that. I made a big mistake. I'm sorry. Like, dude, right there.
If he handcuffed the kid, wouldn't you sue him for false imprisonment?
Well, he didn't handcuff him.
Okay.
He didn't. He almost got. I thought it was like a joke. I thought they were just joking around, gonna make funny out of it. But look, I understand people make mistakes, but if you're a police officer out there, you should know the difference between your driver's license and the state you work in.
Well, until you're
That should have been like police
until you're
officer
18,
101, right?
It goes learner's permit to provisional.
Exactly.
You're not allowed to be out after 11 or before 6 a.m.
Correct. But
parents know this. Why don't the police?
Wouldn't you think it would be like day one at the academy? They teach you how to read a license,
especially if you're on traffic duty.
So I hope this cop loses his job, because that's what we don't need out there. You know, that's the kind of officer that shoots somebody for scratching their butt. Like, I swear he had a gun. Well, no, he's naked and he scratched his balls. He didn't have a gun. You know, that's what scares me.
Well, he had syphilis. That's a dangerous weapon.
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be.
Yeah.
How do you know the cop had syphilis?
I'm assuming it's Peachtree City.
Oh, okay.
Don't they swing a lot over there?
I remember in
Aren't there a lot of upside down pineapples
probably
and flamingos?
I was driving home from Alabama one time, and I saw
that was your first mistake.
I saw
you went there.
I saw a billboard in Alabama. It's like, community warning: there's a syphilis outbreak right now.
Wow.
Like, wow, y'all have billboards warning you of sexually transmitted diseases here. So, all right. Well, speaking of sexually transmitted diseases and stupid people, let's jump into stupid criminals and meth decisions. Jamie, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we're going to start at your favorite state, Florida. You can always count on Florida. Like,
I love leaving Florida.
I like reading Florida Man on Reddit. If you've never been there, check it out. That's where most of these stories come from. So, a Florida man high on drugs is arrested after driving around with electrical wires attached to his penis.
Why?
A naked Florida man who drove around town with electrical wires attached to his penis has been arrested and charged with nudity in public. Witness claimed the man driving a Toyota would pull alongside them and gesture to onlookers to look at his crotch. Police said they observed the man was completely naked and could see an electronic device with wires which was attached to his penis. At one point, the man even opened his car door, inviting one man to have a look-see.
Huh.
That man took a picture.
I would.
Sent it to the police.
I'd be like, hey, this isn't normal. Stop him.
The man was said to be high on drugs, and it turns out that it was a muscle stimulator that was attached to his penis.
Didn't he know Viagra will work better?
I don't know that you electrocute
Was he
your
so
genitals.
high that he couldn't feel his nuts
You would have to be
vibrating?
high. You would have to be like really high. Because I've used that.
Why don't you go slap that monkey on an electric fence at a horse farm?
Or just pee on the fence.
Ooh.
No, I mean, I've used those muscle stimulators for like working out. They hurt. There's no way I'd strap that to my wiener. No way. But this guy drove around town naked, showing people like, hey, y'all, look at here. Look at my wiener.
I think he needs to call BetterHelp. Not a sponsor of the show.
No, but
we're like the only show they don't sponsor, but
and we need help.
Yeah.
And we read stories every week of people who could use BetterHelp. So BetterHelp, give us a shout. We'll give you a shout out.
We'll email you this segment.
So we'll shoot it to you.
Give us a few
bucks. We could call it BetterHelp Meth Decisions. Yeah. Decisions that lead to BetterHelp.com.
Decisions that might not have been made had they been getting help from BetterHelp.
So I'm just going to assume, Jamie, that you've never attached an electrical device to your penis.
No. Never even thought about it. Never even considered it.
Nor do you plan on.
Huh?
Good. Good. I mean, that means I won't be reading, eventually won't read
now,
a Georgia man named Jamie.
Where I live, there's a lot of electric fences. I had to pee once at night and pulled over.
Got one.
I accidentally peed on electric fence.
Did the current come back and get you?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what
It hurt to pee for like 3 days.
Ooh, doggy.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest you do it on purpose.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Like Florida man.
Well, you know. Oh, we didn't mention, dude. This week's episode goes out to our buddy Scott. I forgot all about mentioning that when we started the show. We better get that out now.
Thanks, Scotty.
So this goes out to Scott. He's from Northwest Virginia.
Whoa. That's confusing.
He's either from the south part, the north part, the east part, or the west part of West Virginia. there's been some
It covers all the bases.
there's been some confusion in our discussions about where he's technically from, so I just go with Scott from Northwest Virginia. And it's
So is that
it's become a running joke between me and Scott. So that's why
is
I
that
just
in
keep
West
adding to it.
Virginia or the state of Virginia?
That's in West Virginia.
Or is it Western Virginia?
He actually is from where similar to the place when we went to the pizza place. What was that, Lido's?
Yes.
So not the one we went to, but the one we were originally going to before our route changed.
Oh, so we went to Winchester in Virginia, and Martinsburg is in West Virginia, like 10 exits up.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's from there, that area. Southwest, North Virginia, West Virginia.
So he's been to Lido's.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's the one that told me to try the barbecue chicken when I tried it.
Oh, okay.
That's how I knew which one to try. I got his input. All right, back to meth decisions. Thank you, Scott, for listening. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we really love you, Scott.
Yep.
In a plutonic way.
We love you, man.
You're the best.
All right, now we're going to Georgia.
Better than the rest.
I think this is our first Georgia
Hometown
story.
A homie.
So, a Georgia man is arrested for feeding cocaine and whiskey to a goat and recording it on video. Only in Georgia.
Sounds like a waste of some good drugs.
A horse trainer in Georgia has been charged with aggravated cruelty to animals after he was seen on video force-feeding cocaine and whiskey to a goat. The man was arrested after deputies were given the video of the incident by the man who worked at the horse farm. The man and the two other people in the video were also arrested for their part in the crime. The owner of the ranch told the deputies that he was not aware of the incident or the video until the investigators showed up with a warrant. So I looked. You can't find this video online.
Messed up.
So I don't think he posted the video online.
He should have.
He should have, yeah. Then we could have seen it. But
gone viral.
The video, they described in the video that they could see the man putting the cocaine up the nostrils of the goat and forcing the goat to drink the whiskey. Is that like how he was testing the drugs? Like, oh, these work.
I think he was really good friends with the goat.
Or he was maybe
he thought it was Tom Brady.
Maybe he was getting ready to.
Maybe the goat's name was Tom Brady.
Maybe he was getting ready to have his way with the goat, so he figured he'd get the goat drugged up and drunk
that's
first.
Why the video's not on YouTube.
That's probably it. The guy was standing there naked. But then he had two buddies helping him. So I would imagine one guy holding the goat, one guy videoing it, and the other guy forcing it.
What's sad is there's three people this stupid.
Exactly.
It's not just
goat,
one.
Man. Like
the Three Stooges with cocaine.
Why force feed a goat
and
drugs?
whiskey?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a waste of good drugs.
Why don't they just keep their drugs and go to
a bar?
A concert. Motley Crue concert.
Sounds like a Motley Crue
Probably could have got backstage passes with that stuff.
Come on in, you got whiskey and cocaine.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, next place. We're going to go right next door to Alabama. An Alabama man is arrested after throwing $250,000 worth of meth off a balcony of an Atlanta high-rise building.
Technically, the Alabama man came here.
Yeah, but he's still an Alabama man. This dude's a rapper and a sports agent.
Wow.
He's got all kind of. He's probably a YouTube star as well.
Jack of all trades.
He probably has a podcast.
Well, could be.
So a man who is also a rapper threw $250,000 worth of methamphetamine from the balcony of an Atlanta high-rise as authorities were attempting to search the hotel room. Atlanta Police Department officers found the 5 kilograms of meth on a nearby street that is estimated to be about $250,000 in street value. The man is also a sports agent, and he was charged with trafficking methamphetamine, trafficking marijuana, and possessions of a firearm by a convicted felon. So not only on top of being a rapper and a sports agent, he's also a convicted felon for drugs.
You know what's stupid?
What?
So, all right, you're already a convicted felon. Don't bring a gun. Ask some children of presidents.
Exactly. So in addition to the meth, agents also recovered 2 semi-automatic rifles, a Glock handgun, more than 13 pounds of marijuana, and a large amount of cash. But, I mean, if you think about it, he's already a criminal. He's already a convicted felon. You got the meth. You got 13 pounds of marijuana. Why not throw a few guns in there?
Well,
if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. Otherwise, you won't end up on stupid criminals and meth decisions.
Think about it this way. You might get off the hook on everything, but the gun charge.
It's methed up, man.
Ask Merrick Garland.
It's methed up. You know?
Might have happened in Fulton County.
That's one thing at the Eric Church concert. One of his songs.
It's Fulton County?
No, it talks about cocaine. And he's like, there's enough cocaine to get Fulton County in a bind. And he goes, that'd be a lot of cocaine. There's a lot of people in Fulton County.
Probably a million or more.
I tell you what, Whiskey Myers opened up for Eric Church. If you've never heard of Whiskey Myers, I think they've actually...
Is that a person?
It's a band. Whiskey Myers.
Oh, they opened for Eric Church.
Yeah. Man, I can't get over how great of a show it was. But Whiskey Myers, going into the show, I wasn't a big Whiskey Myers fan. I was like, they're okay. A few songs here or there that aren't bad. Saw them live. Love them, man. They got a song called The Wolf. Great song. Frogman, another great song.
A lot of nicknames. What's your nickname?
Mine?
Yeah.
Fokker was my nickname in high school. From Meet the Fockers.
If you could give yourself, you're not allowed to give yourself a nickname, but if you could, what would it be?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to give myself a nickname. I'd want it to happen naturally. That's why Fokker became my nickname in high school, and I was good with that. I mean, it only lasted in high school. There's like 2 guys left that probably know me by that name still.
I'd have to find my old yearbook in high school to see what my nicknames were.
It wasn't Fokker?
No.
Meet the Fockers?
That wasn't out yet.
That's Fokker with an O.
Might have been Rain Man.
So her name is Pamela Martha Fokker. It's the greatest movie, man. I love that movie. All right, now we're leaving Alabama. Let's jump over into another southern state, Kentucky.
Are they really southern though, or are they Midwest?
No, it'd be like Kentucky's that state that couldn't decide if they were on the north or the south. So they're kind of in the middle. They're kind of confused. So they don't know. They have confusions going on in Kentucky.
So they're bilingual?
But when I read this story, it's going to sound like a southern story. So
maybe they're from southern
This
Kentucky.
must have been the southern part of Kentucky.
Near. They could just spit and hit Tennessee.
Yeah, this was the this would be like the redneck part of Kentucky.
Oh yeah, that place. Where's that at?
Pretty much the whole state.
Well, I've been to Louisville.
Yes.
And Lexington. They're pretty urban.
Yeah, that's redneck.
They're fancy.
That's redneck.
Not parts I went to.
That's redneck.
Near the college.
That's the fancy rednecks.
That's okay.
Oh, they're college students, so they're not even from Kentucky, so it don't count. They're not even citizens.
What's the exchange rate for a Yankee going to Kentucky college?
It's cheaper.
Okay. It's cheap.
A Kentucky man is arrested after running around carrying an axe screaming, "It's showtime, somebody's going down."
Whoa.
A man accused of threatening people with an axe in Kentucky bar remains in jail after he was arrested. The police were called after a man at the bar, high on narcotics and drunk, grabbed an axe and started screaming that it's going down.
Have you noticed that alcohol, although legal and everywhere, but maybe a couple counties down where I live,
it leads to bad things?
It leads to violence.
It does.
I mean, this guy's got guns up here with his cocaine. No, it's meth.
Yeah.
But he didn't shoot anybody. This guy's going, it's on, running around with an axe.
He said, it's showtime. Somebody's going down. Now, imagine if this would have been a pothead, this would have never happened.
No, we've been looking for Doritos.
The dude gets drunk, grabs an axe. I'm imagining one of the axe above the fire extinguisher. He grabs the axe at the bar, drunk, and runs around screaming, "It's showtime! Somebody's going down!" But if he would have been high,
at the bar,
smoking a little weed at the bar,
he would have said,
he'd be like,
"Hey man, can you replace my pretzels?
Does
please?
Anybody got any pretzels, dude? Like,
my bowl of pretzels has been retired.
There's an axe in the corner, and it's not going down.
Hey,
I don't have showtime, man." This would have never happened on weed. But
it sounds like he was Daniel Booning it. Wasn't he from Kentucky?
So the police claim that this dude was high on narcotics by the way he looked, right? So, but they found a round, hollow container slightly bigger than a tennis ball in the man's pocket with about 14 grams of crystal meth. So, we know he was on meth. We know he was drunk. The man was indicted on charges of third-degree terroristic threatening and first-degree possession of a controlled substance. So he had a bad day. Let's just go with that. Kind of makes me nervous though. Like, I'm glad I don't drink, because you'd hate to be at a bar just enjoying yourself, hanging out with some buddies, and a guy comes running through with an axe screaming, "It's showtime, somebody's going down." Like, "Ah, who's that?" "That's just Terry, my drug dealer.
His nickname is Showtime.
He's just here to hang out. He's not a bad feller." A New Jersey woman was arrested after throwing a skee-ball at a young child at an arcade. That skee-ball gets you every time, man. Tell you
I
what,
like skee-ball.
it's a dangerous sport.
All those tickets you get.
Yeah. Authorities in New Jersey arrested a woman who hurled a skee-ball that hit a child in the head at the arcade. Police were able to use the video that captured the moment that she threw the wooden ball, roughly the size of a baseball, if you don't know what a skee-ball is, at the child following an altercation with another man. Police said that the woman was involved in a disagreement with another patron of the arcade over drugs. As a result, she throws a skee-ball at the man, misses, and ends up striking a child in the back of the head. The woman then promptly left the arcade with her 2 children and was later arrested on assault charges. The drugs, however, were never found, and the child she hit was not harmed.
Well, it had to hurt. Don't you think it was at least a bruise?
Oh, he cried, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He cried. I'm sure the arcade probably gave him like double tickets, like, "Don't sue us, son. Here's double tickets." But how are you going to take your child? She takes her 2 kids to the arcade to buy drugs, gets mad at her dealer, throws a skee-ball at him, misses, hits another innocent bystanding child who is just there to have a good time in the back of the head with a skee-ball. Like, this is the reason you don't do drugs, people.
No, that's
It leads to really, 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 really bad.
Remember that
decisions.
frying egg? This is your brain on drugs?
Yeah.
I think that's her brain on drugs.
Yeah, but that was a false commercial.
Because your brain doesn't look like an egg?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
And that was about smoking pot anyway.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. This is your brain on pot. And they just hit a pan and start beating the crap out of the egg. Like, for one.
I don't remember that part. I just remember on MTV when they showed music videos, that was on rotation.
You remember
just like, I want my MTV.
Being in college, sitting in a dorm room, stoned, watching a commercial about an egg being broken on drugs?
I remember.
Why would you have an egg on drugs, man?
I remember watching
eggs can't do drugs.
MTV and Pee-wee's Playhouse. Hey, man.
In college?
Pee-wee was awesome, dude.
Well, let's run up to Connecticut. That's not that far.
Hey, yeah, I got my father's family's from there.
Oh man, I hope this.
I got Uncle Homer's up there.
I don't think this is anybody in your family.
Well, Uncle Homer gets lost now for days.
It could have been Uncle.
But I think it's just old age. I don't think it has to do with any drugs.
I don't think it does either.
Yeah.
So, a Connecticut man who was arrested for stealing a car drives to his court appearance in a newly stolen car and gets arrested again. A Connecticut man accused of car theft drove to his court appearance in a stolen car. Authorities scanning license plates outside of the courthouse found the man's car, a Subaru, that had been reported stolen earlier in the week. So this isn't the first
time an idiot's driven a stolen car to the courthouse. Because they're scanning
them.
Yeah, there's some dumb idiots out there.
So the police just kept an eye on the car and waited on the man to get done with his court appearance. When he did, he came out, he got in the car, and then they arrested him. The man was then charged with second-degree larceny again and for taking a motor vehicle without the owner's permission.
Well, look, it was a Subaru. That was his first problem. The Subaru reported him.
Exactly.
Ratted him out.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, this is the kind of crap we talk about on this show, because this guy literally stole a car, gets arrested for stealing the car, has to go to court for stealing a car, steals another car to get to court, and gets arrested again for stealing a car while at court for stealing a car.
That's dumber than 2 idiots driving a freaking Prius across America in the Cannonball Run.
That's how we became Cannonball Run champions.
That is.
I mean, we wouldn't be Cannonball Run champions without that stupid Prius. These two idiots right here are the two idiots that became Cannonball Run champions, if you're wondering.
I think we could cut the time in half if we had a V8.
Probably. But now, there's a new Prius in our life.
2.0.
I think we can make it. And it's got more sleeping room in the back. We can put a mattress back there.
It's got leather interior.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's
nice.
not cloth. Yeah.
No more tube TV.
No, it's quieter too. It's more insulated.
This story about this guy in Connecticut reminds me of the guys who got arrested for trafficking drugs in their Ford Ranger, got out of jail, broke into the impound lot to steal the drugs back out of their Ford Ranger, not realizing that the police had confiscated the drugs before they impounded the Ford Ranger.
I have some cousins up there that could be them.
Could be.
They're spoiled.
You want to ask them?
They were spoiled.
Send Uncle Homie a text and ask him. We got any cousins that have been arrested for stealing cars twice this month?
They would be his children.
Oh. Well, ask him, have your kids been arrested for grand larceny lately? And if Uncle Homer, if it is your children, I am sorry. I don't use names for a reason. There was actually names. And there was a picture of this guy. And
do you look like me?
No, nothing like
we're very similar looking.
No, but this guy looked absolutely nothing like you.
Oh, well, probably not related then.
Darker complexion, poofier hair.
So he wasn't like
nothing like you.
He wasn't Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah, sure. He wasn't that. He wasn't a Viking. Let's just say that. So one more bad meth decision this week. We're gonna end it in Florida because anytime I start meth decisions in Florida, I like to end them in Florida. So.
Well, we've witnessed a lot of these bad decisions in Florida.
We probably witnessed this guy and didn't realize it. So a Florida man wearing only a T-shirt and nothing else at all steals a Dodge Ram and drives it into a pharmacy to steal drugs. A man wearing only a shirt used a pickup truck to ram his way into a pharmacy in the early morning hours to steal $3,000 worth of pharmaceutical drugs. Security camera video shows the man using cutting tools to try and cut through the glass window.
That's why you should wear jeans to do this criminal activity. What if you slip in?
That's what I'm saying. He's out there
recircumcise yourself.
He's out there using a handheld saw, trying to cut through the glass window to break into the pharmacy, pretty much butt naked, butt and wiener just a dangling.
What? Why am I getting blood cutting this lock?
I bet he had an NSYNC T-shirt on. So when he couldn't cut through the window, and when that failed, he turned to the Dodge Ram that he had stolen earlier, and he started ramming his way into the building. Once inside, the man was able to steal $3,000 worth of prescription drugs from the pharmacy and did a roughly $10,000 worth of damage to the side of the building. The police were able to use the video and the man's fingerprints to link him to the crime and arrest him.
Now, do you think being on drugs prevents you from doing Benjamin Franklin's pro and con list?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think it prevents you from putting pants on? Because if you notice, the theme of Florida Man is dangling wieners.
I don't have a lot of experience with drugs.
This is what I'm thinking.
But I've never done any of this stuff.
I'm thinking this Florida Man is the same as the first Florida Man. This Florida Man attached his wiener to an electrical device. It hurt so bad,
he
stole a truck and drove through the pharmacy to get drugs. Now, when they say $3,000 worth of drugs, is that like with insurance or without? Because is that like an $8 bottle of drugs, or is it without insurance? It could just be like a $3,000 bottle of drugs.
It could have just been cough medicine.
No, it says it was pain medication.
Well, why didn't he get the cough medicine too?
Well, he didn't have a cold. He had a burnt wiener.
Yeah, but the guy's on drugs. I mean, let's watch a YouTube video on how to make meth. It's cough medicine, right? I saw 60 Minutes.
Yeah, but now they say that stuff's fake.
No, I think they say it doesn't help you with your cold.
But it's still, you can make, that's why they kept selling it, because you can make meth with it.
I've never made meth before.
I like to use Drano and rat poison is what I was always told.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be using that drug if it's made out of Drano and rat poison.
It'll make you take your pants off and hook an electrical wire to it.
Or saw a whole pharmacy, Walgreens.
You know, you think he was driving a Tesla?
It says Dodge, doesn't it?
No, not this guy, the electrical wire dude. No, he was driving a Toyota.
Well, you get a real charge out of a...
It could be in a Prius.
I'd go 100% electric EV.
You
And
almost had an electrical vehicle.
I have a button that says EV. I can drive it for like 10 miles on
You thought
electric.
about going EV. I'm glad you didn't. Look, I'm not ready to go electric vehicle yet. I'm just not ready. I don't think technology's there yet. Like, I grew up with an electric vehicle. It was called a Power Wheel. And the battery never stayed charged on it. We always lost the charger. But you would charge it for like 16 days straight. You get 22 minutes of ride time out of it. The battery would die. You would have to replace the battery. It was just, if they couldn't make a Power Wheel last more than 22 minutes back in 1994, 2023 probably can't make a grown people's car last. I don't have a lot of faith in it,
I
man.
know. We work for a guy. Our manager drives one. He gets like 300 miles to the gallon.
But there's no gallon.
Well, there's a gallon of acid in the battery.
So he gets 300 miles to the charge?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that's better than a Power Wheel. So Elon has improved the Power Wheel.
Well, he's got a long range. It's like 400 miles.
So there's tax credits on these electric vehicles. Can we get those same tax credits if we buy Power Wheels? That's an electric vehicle.
Dude, they can't even pay their own bills up there in D.C.
So they're probably not cutting tax
I
credits.
wouldn't count on the rebates and tax credits either.
If you're selling based on tax credits and rebates, then you probably ain't a really good sales guy. We got some issues there. So, all right, that's all I got for meth decisions this week. Want to talk some NASCAR? Non-EV racing NASCAR?
Well, you know, I first saw that race yesterday, and I was like, this is a good race. And then I thought about it and realized I was looking at it from a Texas race comparison.
Yeah, last night when the race ended, I sent Jamie a text. It says, probably the best Texas race I've ever seen. And
it still may have been the best Texas race I've ever seen.
You set the bar so low with that statement. Like, you really don't even have to do anything for it to be considered a good race.
Well, Martinsville would be a great race if we had a little activity in it, right?
It used to be a great
compared
race
to
until we invented the next gen car. Martinsville used to be great.
Why don't we put them all out in Teslas, right? Do a 500-mile race
at Texas.
Yeah, and they all have to come in. They could show like
come in and change cars.
No, charge it. They could show a Seinfeld rerun,
Law and Order,
or a Law and Order, while they're charging the car, and then cut back to the race.
You know, you might be onto something here. Do an hour-and-a-half race, an episode of Law and Order, kick back into another hour-and-a-half finish.
You know, I went to NBC to see the race,
and it wasn't on.
They had motocross instead. Don't you think the viewership of motocross is smaller than NASCAR?
Not at Texas.
It's true.
It was at Texas. They set the bar so low, they went straight to USA. So let's I want to first bring up the inconsistencies of NASCAR. Yet again, you had last weekend at Bristol, you had Martin Truex get just a little squirrely, throw up a little smoke out the rear end, barely scrape the wall. Within half a second, caution comes out.
Well, you know, that was a symbolic flag.
Oh, okay.
What it meant was you're not going to the next round because you suck.
But he made it to the next round.
No, the next one.
The next one.
Have you noticed he can't? What's wrong with his car?
Martin Truex has just sucked since the playoffs started. But no, you had...
Is he driving a Lego car and a piece fell off?
Maybe.
I think so.
So at Bristol, you had Martin Truex get loose, barely taps the wall, NASCAR throws a caution. This weekend, you had Sam Mayer go into turn one, knock the dang wall down. The safer barrier moved a foot. Nothing. You got crap flying everywhere. Sam Mayer's barely moving. Cars are swirling all over the place to miss him.
Had to put his eyeballs back in his eye socket.
No caution whatsoever comes out. Then you have Riley Herbst go into turn 3 and 4. Same thing. Knocks the wall down. NASCAR's finally like, I guess we got 2 wrecks, 1 lap on each end of the track. I guess we might throw a caution. Like, what are you waiting on? Like, the inconsistencies are so bad. Like,
Brad,
no wonder people make fun of NASCAR.
When we were driving from our hotel to Bristol, you saw the race car officials, right?
Yeah,
running their uniforms.
Running late.
They didn't look like the sharpest tools in the shed. They drove like idiots.
Oh, yeah, he didn't even use his blinker. We can't.
They were a road hazard. They were doing 35 and a 55.
This is a true story.
Were they pedaling?
I think they were pretending they were in an EV. I think they're on a fuel budget with NASCAR. They can only use X amount of fuel.
So they're looking at their average miles per gallon gauge going, slow down.
Slow down, Terry. You're going to get us in trouble.
The Francis will spank us because they'll only make $17 billion this year for
they'll hate us because they ain't us. Hey, man, I saw a Left Turn Colt. Our buddies over there, they got in. They're kind of having a little spat with old Pistol Pete Pistone. So Pistol Pete was talking crap about Dalton giving Joey Logano the finger, and they tried to get, it's like, you're going to talk crap about my boy. Have my boy on the show, right?
Pretty much.
No, Pistol Pete blocked everybody from Left Turn Colt. So Left Turn Colt has joined our club. Where NASCAR hates us because they can't control us.
They're banned.
They're banned. They won't. I mean, here's my thing. Are you willing to sacrifice giving your true, honest opinion for a media pass? Yes or no?
Well, yes. That's about how some of the podcasters have done that.
But I'm not. And neither is Left Turn Colt. Like, look.
I mean, look.
If NASCAR doesn't like us, that's great. That's fine. I don't care.
Have you noticed Pete Pistone's face?
Pistol Pete?
He is puckered up.
Oh, yeah.
Sucking butt.
Kissing NASCAR's butt right and left. I mean,
dude, get a little boo-boo with the doo-doo.
The morning drive. Oh, whoop-de-doo. You're on NASCAR radio. Like, NASCAR owns everything you say. Has to cater to making NASCAR happy. Us? No. I don't care. Like, we don't care. We're going to speak the truth. We're going to give you our true opinion. And we try to represent the fan base. Like, if the fans think it sucks, I'm willing to go on air and say it sucks. You'll never hear Dave Moody or Pistol Pete or any of the Mike Bagley. None of those guys are going to ever tell you it sucks.
Can they just say, throw the car, flush it down the toilet, throw it in the trash, and let's start over?
You would think, because this car it's not helped. I mean, like we were talking about Texas, like I thought it was a good race for Texas, but the cautions fell just right. So it didn't feel like the race was getting long and drawn out.
Yeah, they didn't go 200 laps without anything.
You really didn't have racing. Like, you had guys with 85-lap old tires come down and get fuel only and stay out in the lead. You had guys who get 4 tires, go back to 20th, and couldn't beat their way out of a paper sack. Like, it didn't matter. The only tire fall-off we had was like Rick Ware Racing losing a wheel going down the back straightaway.
Well, there's a couple of wheels that got launched.
Yeah, there were. I mean, dude, did you see Corey LaJoy, the right side of his car?
Oh, it got destroyed.
It looked like a dirt modified or something, like an open wheel car. It was.
Did you hear his radio? Lost the wheel again.
Lost the wheel again.
Like he's used to it.
It happens. I mean, Dale Jr. was telling a story about Elliott Sadler had a tire blow and the rubber was going around beating him and hit him in the shoulder. It was so bad it hit him in the shoulder that it hurt. I mean, it would hurt. It destroys that car when that rubber gets ripped around. I hated that for Corey.
And then you got, have you noticed Truex's, where did they get his pit crew from?
Every week.
Are they recruiting high school football players now?
Every week, man.
He's done.
Martin Truex Jr., since the playoffs has started, has had a crap car and the worst luck. Yesterday, spun out again. I mean, dude, 4 races in a row. His best finish is 17th, and that was yesterday at Texas. He finished 19th at Bristol, 36th at Kansas, and 18th at Darlington. Dale Jr. picked Martin Truex to win the championship this year. I don't see it happening. I don't think Martin Truex could win a skee-ball tournament right now. He'd be throwing skee-balls at kids right now.
Maybe Danica should be a wheel changer for him.
I was waiting on Danica to post something about Martin Truex's.
I never liked his wheels.
I never liked Truex. That's why he sucks so bad. I didn't like him.
I always liked the wall better than Martin. What do you think happened there? Do you think she hit on Martin and he said, ew? I think so.
I think his personality came out on Danica and he told her he didn't like her. I think he was just straight up on. I could see Martin being an honest and straightforward dude.
Just
he probably told her, hey.
Unemotional face. You're not my type.
Stay out of my business.
Danica, you're not my type.
I'm thinking that's what happened. Martin told her to mind her own business, and that made her mad. That's all there is to it. That's what I think.
She sure was hating on him.
Oh, well, she become.
How many times do you think he wrecked her?
Danica did something that nobody else has been able to do in a long time in NASCAR.
Piss off everybody?
She united the fans.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if Denny beat your favorite driver or not. Danica united all of those favorite drivers.
She made someone dying all about her.
And now you got Martin Truex going to Talladega pretty much needing to win to make it to the next round of the playoffs. He's raced 37 times at Talladega. He has 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 13 DNFs. His average finish is 21.4. Not what I would want going into a Talladega race.
He's not going to the next round. I'm just saying it right now.
I don't think he does either. I don't think he makes it out of this round, and if he does, he definitely don't make it to the Final Four. Because you got Talladega and the Roval, 2 tracks that he doesn't do great at, is what's left in this round. But I want to say congratulations to William Byron. He was a non-factor all day at Texas and pulled a win out.
He's come out of nowhere and won a crazy amount of, what, 6 now?
If I was William Byron, I would send a thank you card to Chase Overdrive the Car Briscoe. Because Briscoe had been a non-factor since the Daytona 500 this year. Goes in there with, 8 laps to go? 6 laps to go yesterday.
Dude,
sells it off into turn 1. Almost takes Bubba out, who Bubba led over 100 laps. Bubba
choked. He choked.
I don't think he choked.
I think he did.
I don't. I think Chase Briscoe screwed Bubba by sending. You can't. If your car has sucked all day, if you have been a Rick Ware equivalent all season long, you don't send it into turn 1 like you got a Kyle Larson car. We saw how well that worked out for Kyle Larson. I mean, Bubba and Kyle Larson racing hard. Larson ends up spinning out. Do you blame Bubba there too?
Well, no, they didn't touch.
No, Bubba didn't do anything wrong. I actually blame Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson screwed up, got too close.
Kyle Larson
got sucked into his backdraft.
This is Kyle Larson's problem all season, though. He's done this all season long, where he's either won the race or wrecked the car. That's why he doesn't have a whole lot of playoff points, but he's got a lot of wins because he's either going to win it or wreck it. I want to say he's a championship favorite, but you can't make stupid decisions. And
I don't know. William Byron seems to be protecting his car and winning.
William Byron got lucky yesterday.
Byron's been lucky a lot this year.
I like Byron. I got nothing against the kid.
Could win a championship lucky.
Honestly, I feel like whoever wins the championship, it's going to come down to luck. The only driver, in my opinion, consistent enough to win a championship would be Denny. That's just my opinion.
Well, he overcame a dumb accident on pit road. I mean, it didn't seem to affect his car that much.
Yeah, you got Denny Hamlin gets hit by Ty Gibbs on pit road, and this really probably ended his chance at winning. I think that little bit of damage created enough drag where he couldn't. That's why he couldn't get up there and run with Bubba and Larson. But he was still, I mean, even with a crappy car, Denny and Gabehart were able to finish or run 3rd place all day. He finished 5th, and that was just restart shenanigans. That's no reason he finished 5th. But honestly, dude, I don't know what Ty Gibbs was doing there, because even in the Xfinity Series, once you get done pitting, you drift to the outside of the grass. You get out from the middle of the pit road. Ty Gibbs looked like he was coming in towards Denny.
I think he was looking at his paint scheme and complimenting himself.
Probably.
Yeah.
He was looking in his mirror going, man, I look good in this helmet.
I'm a nice little ginger boy.
I'm one good-looking dude in this helmet right here.
Look at my red hair.
I look like I'm 3 days over 12. He don't even look old enough to be driving a car, man.
Maybe he didn't shave that morning. I think I got some stubble.
Is that stubble? There's Denny. There's Denny. Oops.
Oh, I got a little hair popping out.
Denny and Larson have been the fastest 2 cars, in my opinion, since the playoffs have started. Denny has been the most consistent since the playoffs started.
I think this could be his year.
If Denny doesn't win the championship this year, he truly did choke. It's 100% on him because Gabehart's giving him the cars. The cards are all following in his direction. The stars are aligning. I think 100% Denny Hamlin is the favorite to win this championship. And if he doesn't win it, it is 100% on him.
He's got Dega coming, man.
Denny runs good at super speedways. He's won twice at Dega.
Brad Keselowski's been pretty consistent during the playoffs.
I don't think
He's got to win, but
I don't think Brad makes it out of the round of 8.
really,
Denny's got 2 wins at Talladega, so I think he could go. And he's got a couple Daytona.
Brad's got to win there.
Brad's got 6 wins at Talladega.
He's pretty good there.
Honestly, this could be it. I hope and pray that it's Chris Buescher pushing Brad Keselowski along the line, across the line for the win at Talladega, and not vice versa. It just seems like that's how it works out for Brad this year.
But I think as an owner, Brad's okay with it.
I think Brad wants to win, though.
Oh,
I think Brad's to the
I
point.
want Brad to win.
I think he's to that point, though, now where he wants to beat Chris Buescher, his own teammate.
He's the only Ford team worth a crap.
Hey, do you think
Morgan Blaney?
Do you think Bubba Wallace makes it out of this round?
Talladega's his chance.
I mean, yesterday was his chance.
He's got to win Talladega.
He could, or do he? I don't think he has to win Talladega. Actually,
I think he does.
I think he has to finish Talladega.
I think he's made some consistent changes in his maturity.
I don't like the fact that he beats himself up so hard when he gets out of a car.
Well, I think Kurt still being on the team as an advisor is helping him.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, Kurt's a good...
Kurt had a maturity issue too and overcame it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can give him some insider information on how to overcome an ego.
Have you noticed how each week it feels like the 15 or the 51 car still seems to find themselves in single car cautions?
I think it is a Rick Ware issue.
It's got to be, because you had Gilligan yesterday. Ty Gilligan goes out there, loses a tire, brings out a caution. I mean, the race had just restarted. He goes in, gets 3.5 tires technically, comes back out, loses a tire, spins out, causes a single car caution. Then, at the end of the race, 27 laps to go, Larson is winning by a long shot. J.J. Yaley, not to be outdone by his teammate, sails it off into the turn in the high groove that hasn't worked all day and spins out, wrecking the car, bringing out yet another single car race-changing caution.
The high groove was consistent.
Yeah, consistently
it caused wrecks. Yeah.
But here's my problem. 27 laps to go. You're running in last. What are you going to gain? He's by himself. Like, your goal, J.J. Yaley, your goal should be not to end up on TV.
To finish the race. That's your goal.
That's it. Don't bring out, and it always with Rick Ware, it has to be at the end of the flipping race. Like,
maybe
you change the outcome of the race because of your shenanigans. And I don't like
maybe
that.
The France family are silent partners with Rick Ware Racing.
It really, we've said that. We have speculated and started the conspiracy that when NASCAR wants a race-changing caution to come out to add some end-of-the-race excitement, that they key up Burger King over the Rick Ware radio, and there goes a Rick Ware car. That's probably how Rick Ware affords to stay in this series. Honestly, if I'm Justin Haley, I'm freaking out a little bit because Justin Haley's not known to pull stupid moves.
Well, he's
like
actually
Yaley.
won a cup race. He might want to reconsider.
That's something like J.J. Yaley's like 46. He's older than me, and he's out there still driving like a 16-year-old.
He's driving like a
president. He looks more like Buckshot Jones out there on the track than
Buckshot was really consistent at wrecking.
Nobody hit the wall as many times as Buckshot.
Because he went off half cocked.
Every time. Every single time. You could not keep his car out of the wall. And that's the same thing with Rick Ware. It's like, maybe this is what I figured it out. Justin Haley, I'm sorry, you're out of a ride next season. Next season, the 15, Buckshot Jones. The 51, Jeremy Mayfield.
Well,
I love that lineup.
Have you noticed it doesn't matter who's in the car? Ryan Newman will flip it all, just spin too.
Ryan Newman is actually the most consistent at not wrecking in a Rick Ware car, but he still has his moments. He'll be like 37 laps down and the leader can't get by.
You can't pass me.
I'm not letting you by. I'm Rick Ware.
I'm Rocket Man.
I'm Bottle Rocket Ryan. Because that's all he is now. Hey, when a two-time champion comes over the radio and says he has a level 5 vibration and something seriously wrong with the car, You think RCR will listen next week?
No, I had to ignore him. He didn't know what he's talking about.
They're like, hey, Kyle, don't worry, man.
Just keep going.
You got a little dirt on your tires. It's going to get better.
You know, rubber buildup. You're fine.
There goes Kyle into the wall. It didn't get better. Hello. I don't get it, man.
I'm surprised Richard Childress didn't say to his daughter, hold my watch and go start punching out some of the crew.
Let's see. This is what
Listen to him.
RCR needs to realize it's Kyle Busch.
He's
in that
won
car.
60 races. Listen to him.
I know you guys at RCR are used to dealing with Pop's grandson, Austin Dillon. I know that's who you're used to dealing with, and Austin comes on like, the car drives like crap. No, it's the driver, not the car.
Or Dale Sr. It broke.
Yeah, but Dale Sr.
But Chocolate could read between the lines.
They could all read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was.
And so did Mac Reynolds could.
They had that special language between them.
They'd say, "Hey, Dale, how did it break?
Them guys.
It broke.
It broke.
Oh,
it broke good.
Okay,
It good and broke.
We'll do you two bars in the back.
But Kyle comes on.
2 turns.
Kyle comes on and says there's something wrong with the car.
It's vibrating.
They tell him to stay out, so he stays out, and then he wrecks and hits the wall. That wasn't his fault. He thought it was a front left tire, and then it spun out like it was a right rear. So,
well, he still won more than Tai.
like I said,
3.
I think at this point, when you have two-time champion Kyle Busch telling you this car or something wrong with it, you listen.
Is Kyle going to the Final Four?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think he makes it out.
Nope.
So that brings us to our next question. Based on the first 4 races in the first race of this round of 12, who are your 4 picks not to make it out of this round? You flip your page over, I got the points for you there. It'll show you who's currently in, who's currently out.
Well, I can pretty much tell you.
So who are your 4 drivers you think?
Oh, there they are. They're already listed.
Who are the 4 drivers you think are out at the end of this round? Currently below the cut line, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch.
Blaney's gone.
Agreed.
Tyler makes it.
Ooh, okay.
Bubba, no.
Bubba's gone?
Yeah, he's going to get wrecked at Dega.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
You think Busch is gone?
I think Kyle will make it to the next round.
Kyle could win at Dega. I think that's the only way he makes it. He could win at the Roval too, though. So either
I don't
way.
think Bell makes it either.
Ooh, plus 20. You don't think he makes it?
No.
All right, so I got.
Old babyface ain't going to do it.
At the end of this round, I have Busch, Blaney, Truex, and Reddick out. Based on where we're currently at, who do you have as your final 4? Who would you pick to go to the round of 4?
Byron, Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and Reddick.
Ooh. So we have the exact same picks except for one. I have Hamlin, Byron, Larson, and Buescher. I think Buescher's consistent enough to slide in there. I mean, he's 3rd right now behind William Byron, who has a win. But then again, I think this the next round of 8. I think that round of 8 is what's going to get. Keselowski doesn't make it through. Chastain won't make it through the round of 8. Bell, I think, goes out next round.
Chastain's been watered down, man. I don't know what it is.
Rick Hendrick.
Riddlin?
Rick Hendrick chewed his butt for wrecking his cars. Remember?
Yeah, I remember he chewed him out, and then
Chastain was
the end of his career.
Balls to the wall, wide open, watermelon slide, risking it all, going all out. And Rick Hendrick got onto him, and no mo. He not happy no mo. He no good driver.
No.
So
maybe he can go race for Rick Ware.
I think Rick Hendrick might be calling Bubba Wallace this morning. Like, hey man, you wrecked one of my cars yesterday. Don't let that happen again.
He didn't wreck them.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna stand up for Bubba.
According to Facebook, Bubba Wallace wrecked Kyle Larson.
I'm standing up for Bubba on this.
I was pulling for Bubba yesterday. Like, I found myself mad at Chase Briscoe for pulling a boneheaded move like he pulled. And I was mad that William Byron ended up winning the race. And I like Byron, but I really wanted Bubba Wallace led over 100 laps yesterday. I mean,
And started on the pole.
he did everything he needed to do. He led 111 laps, started on the pole. The only thing he didn't do right was stage points.
Well, the last restart he didn't do too good.
I mean, he finished 10th and 9th. That's only 3 stage points. That's not good enough. He needed way more than that because now he's 2 points below the cut line. Reddick's 3 points below the cut line. Ryan Blaney's 11 points. And Kyle Busch is 7 points. Now, going into Talladega, if you look at their average finishes of all the playoff drivers, you got Christopher Bell has 0 wins at Talladega and an average finish of 19.6 with 7 starts. Ryan Blaney has 18 starts, 2 wins, and an average finish of 15.2. He actually has the best average finish of all the playoff drivers going into Talladega. Chris Buescher has 16 races at Talladega, 0 wins, and an average finish of 19.9. Kyle Busch has 36 starts at Talladega, 2 wins, and an average finish of 19.9. William Byron has 11 starts, 0 wins, and an average finish of 17.3.
Whoa, Rain Man. That's a lot of numbers. Whoa.
Ross Chastain has 9 starts, 1 win, and an average finish of 18.2. Denny Hamlin, 35 starts, 2 wins, 16.6 is his average finish. He has 35 starts and that good of an average finish. Denny Hamlin's going to go out and win at Talladega. Brad Keselowski has 29 starts, 6 wins, and 15.3 average finish. Kyle Larson, 0 wins, 17 starts, and a 23.4 average finish. Tyler Reddick, 7 starts, 22.3 average finish. Martin Truex, as we said before, has 37 starts and a 21.4. And Bubba Wallace has 11 starts, 1 win, and 19.7 average finish. All these guys have double-digit average finishes here. I would be worried. I would not bank on Talladega to make it to the next round. Talladega is that wild card, long shot.
A non-playoff driver will win. That's my guess.
Michael McDowell?
Could be.
Well, Jamie, we are not going to Talladega this weekend. But if we were, what's some hotel reviews that would cause us not to want to stay at your hotel?
Well, they all kind of suck. They're not. I'm running out of really exciting ones, but
Well, tell us what you got anyway.
well, this is a crappy.
That's not a good way to start off the segment. Well, they suck.
America's Best Value. Sue me, I don't care.
Okay. The best value in America.
1 out of 5 stars. I needed a motel.
Yeah.
I didn't read the reviews. Oops. Okay. Well, you got what you deserve.
You don't even have a right to complain if you didn't read the reviews, in my opinion.
Got to the hotel, they were keeping the door locked. Was greeted by all the local hustlers, hookers, and crackheads.
There's a lot in Anniston, too.
I mean this literally. Don't they have some kind of contamination in the ground, too?
Yes, the PCBs in their water.
Not being fastidious,
That's why they're crackheads.
one of them invited himself into my room and tried to steal my room key by putting it in his pocket.
Fastidious? Facetious?
Well, whatever.
Fastidious is not a word, is it?
Well, I got confused with all those numbers you were spitting out.
It says,
Warn me about the people about to hustle me and steal off my motorcycle. Missing a smoke detector. I'm confused here. Was his motorcycle missing a smoke detector? Or the room?
I'm thinking the room.
He even typed it in the review a different color. You can't see it because I printed it black and white.
Yeah, but I can tell because it's light gray.
Not only is it against code to not have a smoke detector, but the fact that they didn't even try to conceal the fact and left the exposed wires hanging out is unbelievable.
That's so you can shock your balls.
Yeah.
That's why. That's not a. This guy's confused. He thought it was a smoke detector when it was actually a ball shocker on the wall.
From Florida.
Well, they put it there for people from Florida.
How does he know code in Alabama? There is no code.
Yeah, I worked in Alabama for years. They don't enforce the codes, I can assure you.
Curious if someone stole this off the wall, and the greater question, how much did they get at the pawn shop for a used smoke detector?
I'm going to go with $1.50.
And then he repeats, missing smoke detector. I don't think they know what a smoke detector is in Alabama. What's that? It looks like a UFO. What's with that little blinking light there?
They see the smoke detector actually is the lady that works at the front desk. When she smells smoke over her cigarette, she's like, I smell smoke, and it's not Marlboro menthol smoke. I know it for a fact. That's your smoke detector.
That UFO got a blinking light.
She goes, sir, you think that's a smoke detector spot on that wall, but that's a nut shocker.
You can press the light here, and then it went, woo, woo, woo. It is a UFO.
You hook your nuts up to that, and I'll hit the button, and it'll shock you.
Gomer, call 911. Do they even have 911 in Alabama?
No.
Call 229-674-2311.
Call Bubba. He's got a gun. Well, everybody in Alabama has a gun. That's a requirement to live there.
So he had a picture of the toilet plunger. So he says, no attempt to even replace the lid.
Oh, good. He says,
there was no lid in the picture.
He says, see the plunger barely visible in the lower left corner? Yes, that was my flushing mechanism.
Yeah, so he pooped and had to plunge it down.
Oh, the guy at the front desk left it with him, so he'd be able to. They know the toilet's going to clog up. That's nice of them.
And he says, see the plunger barely visible in the lower left-hand corner? Yes, that was my flushing mechanism. Guy at front desk left me with it so I could flush the toilet via plunger. So I don't think
that's nice of him.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew.
The ground's contaminated. Now you can get contaminated playing with this plunger.
Don't drink the toilet water in Alabama. Don't drink the water in Anniston, period. It will kill you.
Now you ask me, why didn't I just leave?
Yep.
No, I'm not asking you that.
No, we know why.
You shouldn't have stopped in Anniston.
You've been drinking the water.
Well, easy. Once I arrived and removed all the bags off my bike and it was getting dark, I promised myself that going to do my best to not hunt for motels at night. And my bags are cumbersome, heavy and bulky, probably full of meth.
Wasn't that a song? Cumbersome?
Yeah. Was that Stone Temple Pilots? I don't remember. What about heavy and bulky?
Too heavy, too light.
That's most of the girls in Alabama, heavy and bulky, right?
Cumbersome.
Or is that Australian?
I don't remember who that band was. 7 Mary 3 or something like that?
Could have been.
That was their only hit, I think.
It's not like having a car where I could just threw. He went past tense. Just threw my bags in the trunk and found another place.
We've seen some motorcycles recently, though, that bring their trailers.
On a bike. It's a process. I knew I was leaving in the morning, so I figured one bad night and I'll go GTFO.
GTFO.
That's a Pontiac, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's using all these acronyms, and I don't even know what they mean.
I don't even feel like I was in imminent danger. Just didn't like the POSs that were living in the motel.
Well, that's discriminatory, sir. Like, maybe that's all they can. I've been to Anniston. Heck, I used to have an apartment in Anniston. And it probably was. I actually never stayed there, but I have one. Hey, remember our old boss?
Rumors is our old boss listens to us occasionally.
He forced me to move to Alabama, so I rented a apartment there. I actually had the apartment for a year, and that's where my mail went. But I had a lawn chair, a case of water, thing of toilet paper, and I'd go work there.
So is your office, basically. Isn't that really what they wanted you to do, though?
That's what I thought, but apparently it wasn't. One time, they had a box they shipped to me there, and it got sent back, and the boss got mad at me. He's like, you're not really living in Alabama. I'm like, yeah.
Did you ask him if he'd ever lived in Alabama? No one wants to live there except natives.
Yeah, different time, different people, different place. Dude's actually not a bad guy. So
no, you know what?
Turned out to be an alright dude.
The dude, I mean, you loved him, but you feared the crap out of him too.
Yeah, Yeah, he was like, I think that was the problem with like me and him. I went to high school with his son, so he looked at me like one of his kids, and that's how in true reality, that's how he treated me, like I was one of his kids. Looking back at it now, it's probably for the best.
Did he ever spank you?
No, but he did. He screamed at me.
I got him to drop a
He dropped the F bomb.
He dropped a GD on
me.
Yeah,
that's a big one. He's a deacon. You got the deacon to cuss.
But I really felt bad afterwards because I disappointed him. You know,
always. That's how you always felt.
Yeah, you're like, I'm horrible. You'd cry driving home after a meeting.
You didn't want to let the man down. That was the thing. Like,
no, you feared him, but loved him.
Yeah, you respected the crap out of him.
You're like, shit, man.
It's one of those guys you look back at and go, yeah, I needed everything the tough love he showed me, I needed it.
But looking back, you were like, God, why couldn't he stay with us?
Yeah, definitely. But we were way better off.
Yeah. We realized he was like Captain America's shield blocking the sun.
I just read the title of this next one.
This is a weird one. I think he was advertising a product in a motel review.
I hope so.
But I found it to be kind of funny.
Do they actually make this stuff?
I Googled it. They sell it at Walmart.
Wouldn't that just be Vaseline?
No, because then it would smell like oil, wouldn't it? Because it's petroleum jelly.
And the lady at the front desk. Okay, go ahead.
Sold it to him.
Let's read.
I think this is, she might be working with him.
Let's read this one because now you got everybody on the edge of their seat wanting to know what the lady at the front desk.
It was a 5-star review, and the hotel's the Bama Hotel. He loves it.
No, it's a hotel in Bama, is what he's saying.
Oh, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, Bama is what Alabamans call Alabama. It's shorter and it's easier to spell.
I only went there to.
I'm not saying people in Alabama are stupid, but Bama. Short for Alabama.
Well, I can't spell Alabama, but I can do BAMA.
Roll Tide.
I still haven't figured that out. And it's an elephant carrying a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, college football. When you're like, what are we gonna name our team? How about the Crimson Tide? Because it's bloody.
I don't.
We'll have a.
Is that because there was a serial killer at the ocean?
You know why they use an elephant though, right?
No.
Because they're Republicans. It's a Republican state, and they didn't want to use the donkey because you don't want to be a bunch of jackasses.
But when the Democrats were the Klan members, they were Democrats.
Well, now they're Republicans. So now it's the Roll Tides.
That must really confuse those people that graduated from college in Alabama.
I think because of
the
standards of college, like they were number one for years. Alabama was number one in college football for years.
You know the problem?
Then they became number one in opioid use, but they were dead last in high school education and second to last in secondary college education.
Well, you know what their problem is?
What?
They used to pay their players more than the NFL, but it was illegal.
Now
everybody can pay their players
openly, and
they can't quite figure out the cheating code.
Well, I mean,
the hack.
Would you want to move from Hawaii, like Tua did that year, to Alabama? Now with the NIL agreements, you can go anywhere and be a spokesman for a car dealership and make millions.
Well,
back in the day, Tua moved from Hawaii to Alabama because
I don't want to brag, but 4-0, and that's his little brother.
Terps?
His little brother's a Terp.
Yeah, well.
It's a great day today because it'll all end. Today's a great day in Maryland. They're 4-0, and the Orioles are in first place in the American League East.
So that changes tomorrow?
Probably.
All right, let's go to this.
Let's talk about Tom here.
Tom's ball lotion.
Lady at front desk sold me fresh ball lotion. Bama Hotel, 5 stars.
Is that to keep his balls fresh?
Well, he has a career that I don't have.
Oh,
and it's generational. This career.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it happens. It could be hereditary. I don't know what his career is yet, but go ahead.
This product is great.
Oh, now I know his career.
I'm a male prostitute. I need my genitals to be fresh all the time. Nothing turns a paying customer off more than a pair of acorns that reek like you're a male prostitute.
What's that smell like? As I'm not a male prostitute, nor do I even know one. Oh, he works with old ladies.
Smell your balls.
Don't old ladies stink too?
Probably. Nursing homes do.
That's what I mean. Like old people have a weird smell to them. So
that's because at a certain age you decide you only need to bathe like once a week. I mean, really, that's what I worked at a nursing home.
Yeah.
Bathing old people. No, I'm lying. Wasn't that awesome lie, though?
I felt bad for you for a second there.
I work mostly with older ladies
That's what you just said.
who enjoy the company of a guy who has confidence that his Bojangles smell clean and presentable. This product does that. Before I used Fresh Balls, my giblets stuck to my leg and would smell like burnt plastic and garbage juice. My sales were terrible. Yeah, I would think so. Dude, people didn't even want to wait in line with you at Starbucks. They're like, oh, God, what is that? What does that smell? I thought I'd have to quit the biz and move back with my parents. In brackets, he says, my dad is an extremely successful male prostitute, so this is even more embarrassing.
Man, my daddy, he's the best prostitute down at the trailer park. I tell you what, this guy would probably be a good candidate for our TV show, Real Housewives of the Trailer Park.
Yes, he could be a house.
Dude, we could base it out of Anniston.
Yeah.
They got plenty of trailer parks.
I have tried everything from cologne to Lysol. Wouldn't that hurt your pecker?
That's what I was thinking. It'd burn. Like, ooh.
To actually washing them.
Well,
and nothing seems to stop the stink.
That's where I'd start at. Fresh Balls, isn't that stuff?
Dude, I'm lucky to have sex with the same woman more than once a day. This dude is... All right. I bought Fresh Balls as a last-ditch effort to save my career.
Fresh Balls, it gives you wings.
Holy heck, did it work. My marbles are clean, fresh, and ready to go at all times. No longer do I have to worry that if I pick up a Jill, and then brackets again, what we call female customers in the biz. I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Jill and Joe.
At the dollar store. He picks them up at the dollar store. Oh, that's why they stank. He's not high dollar. He's trailer park.
When you're picking your women up at the dollar store.
He's a trailer park male prostitute.
Yep. He's calling his trailer a condo. I like that.
Well, you know, there's this lot rent. It's kind of like condo fees.
I guess.
So he doesn't want his balls to smell sour.
No.
They don't smell sour, he says. They smell great. Do you think he sniffs his own balls?
I'll take his word for it. Maybe he's asking Jill. Jill, how do my balls smell?
You don't have to be a male prostitute to buy this product. You don't. I Googled it. Amazon carries it. Walmart has it. Target has it. I've never looked for Ball Fresh or whatever they're called.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. It's like Pooty Poo freshener.
Yeah. He says his sack now smells like a summer breeze. A summer breeze that will have sex with you for money. Thank you, Fresh Balls. Wow.
For some reason, all I can picture is the Dave Chappelle Red Balls skit.
So I'm thinking Thomas J. Kelly here is
actually his name.
He is he put it there.
Yeah, Thomas J. Kelly. There. Thomas Kelly, the male prostitute from Anniston. You know, that's
I'm going to say, in my opinion, he's lying here. Yeah. In my opinion, he's an executive at Fresh Balls Lotion.
Probably. Trying to increase sales.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just a territory sales rep for Fresh Balls.
Yeah.
And he's trying to increase his sales of Fresh Balls in the Anniston area. So he's reaching out to all the Jills in the area.
I would guess with bad water,
you need Fresh
in
Balls.
In Anniston, you're kind of like the nursing home. You bathe once a week until someone tells you need to bathe.
Or maybe if you drink the water, you'll have 3 balls instead of 2.
It's cheaper than driving to Atlanta or Birmingham to get fresh water. He gets fresh balls.
Instead of washing his balls, he lubes them up.
Well, would you wash them with PTSDs or whatever you said they have in the groundwater?
PCBs.
PCBs.
You don't.
So you can. So isn't that the stuff you can get high on?
No, that's PCPs.
What's the freaking difference?
I don't know. Both will kill you, I guess.
Both cause cancer.
Oh, that's a fact. Everything causes cancer. That's why.
In California.
That's just because. Look, I don't hate on California for that anymore. That's just because the California government is being honest. We prevent companies from telling you that they cause cancer in other states, but California requires them to tell you that the processes, that the preservatives they're adding to the food will cause cancer. They require you in California to tell you that.
Well,
In Georgia, they don't.
You don't read on like historical biographies of some famous founding father dying of cancer.
Because they didn't have preservatives back then in their food. It's all the GMOs the governments have added to our food that's causing cancer and all these learning disabilities like
Do you think it's the
autism.
government, though, or
Yes,
is it
I
the
do.
drug companies?
It's the government because they're getting paid off by the drug companies to use their chemicals in the food.
Yes.
We're allowing farmers to spray Roundup Ready spray on the plants so it doesn't kill the corn, it kills the weeds. And then they sell that corn with the Roundup on it to us to eat. And the government's like, yes, win for us.
But the farmers have a great lobby in D.C., and so do the food makers and the pharmaceutical companies. Watch the news. They have a pill for everything now.
Yeah.
Just watch your primetime news. What's it on? 6:30, 6, 7 o'clock? Watch it.
All of
NBC, ABC,
5, 6,
CBS.
7, 8,
Watch
9, 10.
CNN, CNBC. Shoot, NASCAR has the demographic for people that need prescriptions.
For
Watch
ED.
NASCAR.
I mean, when was the last time you saw a race without an erectile dysfunction commercial? Speaking of erectile dysfunction, I can't wait to hear Brett Griffin on Door Bumper Clear read the erectile dysfunction commercial this week.
Why doesn't Viagra sponsor racing anymore?
That's a hard sponsor to get into, you know.
It is.
It was hard to beat Mark Martin when he drove that Viagra car.
Mark could beat Mark.
Yeah, that was about the only one that could beat Mark. That's why he kept swerving in the car.
His balls stank after a race.
He needed some
He
fresh
needed-
balls.
He need fresh balls.
Viagra, Mark Martin and the Viagra fresh balls, erectile dysfunction, Peyronie's disease car.
Peronis. I love that ad. I saw one during the race
Yeah,
where they had thousands of carrots flying in the air. Wow.
Does your wiener look like a crooked carrot? They used to use cucumbers, but after they threw that cucumber across
I thought
the
it was an
Bristol
eggplant,
racetrack-
but I wasn't sure.
You see the dude throw a cucumber across the racetrack at Bristol? Like, what the hell, man?
I thought it was a pickle.
No, it was a cucumber. A really big cucumber. All righty. Well,
I get to pick first for the first time in months.
we are racing in Talladega this weekend. The race is at 2:30 p.m. on the USA Network and MRN. It is a 2.5-mile oval track. The last 10
Dang it, man. The two guys I want to pick are all in the top 10.
The last 10 finishing at this track at the last fall race that we were at. Elliott Sadler won.
Elliott Sadler, wow.
Chase Elliott
I
won
haven't
that.
seen him in a long time.
Chase Elliott won that race. Ryan Blaney finished second. Michael
Was
McDowell
Hermie there
finished third.
too?
Chastain finished fourth. Hamlin fifth. Jones sixth. Gilligan seventh. Soras finished eighth. Cindric finished ninth, and Chase.
I don't even know why Cindric's
Briscoe
on here.
finished
Does
10th.
he even exist anymore?
No. So
He's going to go to Rick Ware.
we pick 3 drivers each week. Remember, the lower number wins. Last week, I had Denny, Reddick, and Chastain for a total of 32 points. Jamie had Larson, Busch, and Soras for a total of 73 points.
Larson and
Soras
Busch killed me.
Soras was your best finishing driver, too.
Yeah.
Finally, I won. It's been like 8 weeks in a row I've lost. And Jamie still has, what'd you say, 97-point lead over
97
me?
points.
But I was able to cut that lead by a lot. 32 to 73. I mean, I had a big points gain yesterday. So, Jamie, you do, sir, get to pick first.
That's tough.
Who do you got?
It's going to be Brad or Hamlin. I'm going with Denny. He's consistent.
All right.
Oh, the next 10.
This was the hardest bracket for me. 11th
No.
through 20th.
You know what? We were at the fall race last year.
I know I said that.
I'm going with Chase.
All right.
He's going to get his one win of the season.
I don't think so.
I'm going with a yes.
Rick needs his other 2 guys to make it to the next round, so he's going to put way more money on him.
But Chase doesn't listen to Rick.
It doesn't matter.
He's going to have to tell a tire
Chase
changer.
might not listen to Rick, but Alan Gustafson can only work with what Rick gives Alan to work with. So I don't think Rick's going to give Alan the best. He's going to give him the third best because the first and second best going to go to Byron and Larson. But anyway, you got him.
The last 10, I'm going with Larson again. He screwed me last week. If he screws me 2 weeks in a row, we're done. Him and I are done for 2023.
All right. Well, since you took my pick out of the top 10, I will go with my secondary pick, who is also your secondary pick, who I think is probably going to win the race. That would be Brad K. For my second pick from 11th through
McDowell?
20th.
You going McDowell?
Yes, actually.
Really?
I am going with McDowell.
Wow. He's a good pick for a super speedway.
I know. I had him marked before. I had him and Chase
What
marked.
about Busher? I'll give you a change.
No, I'm going to go with McDowell.
Okay. What about Truex?
No, God, no.
You're about to laugh, aren't you?
There's no way. Ty Dillon. And for my
That's funny.
My 21st to 36th pick. All right, Janet. We're gonna do it this week.
Are you?
We're gonna get one.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna go with
Are
Corey
you serious?
LaJoy. Janet,
he can super speedway drive.
I'm gonna need you to give me some good luck, Corey LaJoy.
Give him some mojo.
Mojo. Do your special LaJoy dance.
Kiss the dice, blow the dice.
Get up on the cooler, do a leprechaun dance.
Oh, I got it.
Something. Corey needs it because I'm going with Corey LaJoy
this ain't no weird sex thing.
Thank God.
I want Eric to lay on the couch. On the other end of the couch, Janet has to lay on the couch. Their heads head to head. And I want them both to look at the ceiling and tap their third eye 33 times.
Oh, God. Here you go with this third eye crap.
And then, while you're doing it, think of LaJoy winning.
I'm going to do that every night this week.
And when you get done, I want you guys to go, home. For about that long.
And then I want you to get Eric's cooler back out.
Make them do the leprechaun dance.
And y'all do a leprechaun dance. Not together. It's a little cooler. But take turns leprechaun
Well,
dancing.
it is Eric's cooler, so they have the cooler.
I think. So you do the 30, 32, or 33 taps?
33 taps on your third eye.
You do the 33 taps. Your third eye, if you don't know, is in the middle of your forehead.
Right about here.
Jamie's been
there.
He's been teaching me about all this Jewish Hindu stuff.
It's Quaker.
Oh, I thought it was Muslim.
No, it's Quaker.
You're not Muslim?
No. I don't know anything about that.
You have carpets, right?
They don't eat pork.
Was Aladdin Muslim?
And their Sabbath is Friday, I think. Friday night.
You think Aladdin was Muslim?
I think so.
Okay.
Disney doesn't know that, though.
I want a flying carpet.
I don't think you can buy them.
So, 32 taps.
Don't forget.
And a cooler dance. And if LaJoy wins, you're going to have to do that every weekend from now on.
Whoa, yeah. I don't even think you have to tell her to do that every weekend.
Not if LaJoy wins.
Not if LaJoy. I'm going to do it.
Well,
twice a day if LaJoy wins.
I think this is the first time that I've picked LaJoy in the fantasy lineup this year. So, Corey, if you're listening, I don't know if you listen to this or not, but if you do,
be a guest on our show.
I just need you to win.
And we will buy the 4 station that you can hook up on the phone if LaJoy wins. And we'll bring in LaJoy and Janet.
I need you to stack some quarters this weekend.
Yeah, no pennies. Pennies ain't doing it for you.
Pennies ain't going to win the race.
Nope.
Stack some quarters.
Some dollar bills.
Use the dollar gold coins. Stack some gold bars. Stack something.
What about the Sacagawea coin? That sounds lucky.
Sacagawea? She
took in the 1800s Lewis and Clark all the way to Pacific Coast and back. That sounds lucky.
We used to watch that show, Lewis and Clark.
Wasn't that a TBS funny cartoon?
Was it Superman? Thelma and Louise? No.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
Lewis and Clark was the name of the show, right?
Lois.
Huh?
Yeah.
Not the Explorers. Okay.
That's Dora.
Dora the Explorer. That's based on reality. Handy Manny.
I think that it is a reality show.
Handy Manny. That was reality too.
I actually went to the theater with my kids.
Saw Dora?
We paid to see the live action Dora.
And
I enjoyed it.
Which Disney's doing a live action remake of that movie Tangled. And they're going to use a bald woman.
Sure, why not?
Hey, it works.
I wasn't a big fan of Disney ever.
I'm still not. That's really all I got this week. You got anything else?
No. Go LaJoy.
I'll
root for him even though I didn't pick him.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, thanks to everybody who listens, watches the show, shares us on social media, shares us with their friends each week. We greatly appreciate
man. I got
you.
pee bad.
Thanks to everyone who follows us on Twitter. If you don't follow us on X, not Twitter, X. If you don't follow us on Twitter,
No,
X,
don't call it X.
follow us or at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and check out our other videos. Check us out on Spotify. When you do, make sure to follow us on
I'm gonna
Spotify
wet my pants.
and rate us. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review like Brandon did. Send us a DM or you can email us at racecarbackwards.com.
All right, Brad's gonna finish it.
And make sure to check out our new merch. It's at racecarbackwards.threadless.com. Other than that, Jamie has officially left to go pee.
I'm not wearing my Depends.
He forgot his Depends today. So y'all have a great week, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.